Order. Question for Stewart Maxwell.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the First Minister what the Scottish Government's position on prisoners having the right to vote.
First Minister.
Well, the Scottish Government does not agree that convicted prisoners should be entitled to vote while they are serving a prison sentence.
Stewart Maxwell.
Can I thank the First Minister for that answer? I, like many in this chamber, are totally opposed to rapists, murderers and drug pushers getting the right to vote. They've given up their right to participate in decent society by their actions, and it's a disgrace that forces outside Scotland are trying to force this upon us. However, even worse is the fact that, thanks to incompetence by the previous Labour government at Westminster, some of these criminals may now try to claim compensation from taxpayers across the UK. Does the First Minister agree that voters in Scotland should not have to suffer any more bungled handling of elections by Westminster, and that responsibility for our own elections must be devolved to the Scottish Parliament as soon as possible?
First Minister.
I agree with that. Because well, apart from anything else, I think it's quite remarkable that anyone in this chamber believes it's right and proper for this Parliament to have legislative competence and authority over climate change, perhaps the greatest issue facing the planet, but doesn't have the competence and legislative authority to run its own elections. How can anybody possibly believe or sustain that position? If it was the case that the track record of the Scotland Office in running elections in Scotland was beyond reproach, then there might be something of an argument. But I don't think anybody would argue that either. And incidentally, I don't think looking at the two consultation documents, the prevarication and delay of the last government on this thorny issue of prisoners and voting, that the last government, covered themselves in glory on this issue either.
Richard Baker.
In fact, the last government resisted making these changes for exactly the points which the First Minister made earlier, but he may be aware that the current UK government is reviewing this policy, and on that basis have any discussion has taken place with them on what impact there may be on retrospective claims by prisoners now registered to vote, and what costs there might be to the SPS or Scottish Government.
First Minister.
Well, the costs, actually, according to legal advice, would apply to the UK Government, which may concentrate the minds in particular. But I'll tell you something about Mr. Baker's question that puzzles me. I'm just looking at the list. You said that you had the last Labour government had, what was it, avoided coming to this position. Well, that's because the last Labour government introduced its first consultation paper in December 2006, then a second consultation paper in 2009, closed the consultation in December 2009 and then promptly handed the thorny problem over to their successors in the Westminster government. I think it would be wrong for prisoners to have the convicted prisoners to have the right to vote. I think the public would be outraged if compensation claims are then levelled against any government, whether it be Scotland or the UK. But I think Richard Baker should face up to the fact that in the last Labour government, their strategy in dealing with this question was to wait till they were out of office.
Robert Brown.